my goals is to end up making mead in the future from this honey, but that's probably a year or two out. These hives came from a Virginia grant program. So at this point, these hives have cost me nothing. And I'm doing my best to not spend, you can spend $200 to buy a complete hive of bees. I'm trying to trap them. And at this point, I've built 6 swarm traps. You're gonna see how we put these together. That way, this will continue in my theme of not spending a whole lot of money putting these hives together. You'll need to follow along to see if this is gonna work, if this is feasible and possible. Learn everything from YouTube and not spend a whole lot of money, because you can spend hundreds and hundreds of dollars getting all this together to work. I'm trying to do this minimal as I can. First step, I got the beehives. These are top bar hives. In some of the research that I did, you were allowed to choose from the state which hives you got, up to 6 hives. I chose top bar hives because there's some information out there, and of course everyone's got an opinion, but top bar hives are a little easier to manage than the Langstroth hives. I think that's how you say it. We'll see. It does look like it's a little bit easier to manage. So these hives have been set up for about a month now, and I see that wasps are setting up shop in these hives. I wonder if they don't get along. I'm going to keep them out just because I don't want wasps in my hives. Of course, if you've got opinions or suggestions down below, do me a favor, make comments. Let me know where I'm going wrong and the things that I can do better. I'll take any advice I can get in this. The wood that we used in this is, the first 3 were 3/4 inch ply, pressure treated, and the second set is 1/2 inch ply. So here they are, getting ready to go up. All 3 bee swarm traps. Definitely not making cabinets, but they're put together. This will wind up being a complete video series of my journey in being a novice and starting up beehives. You can see in this shot, I initially started shoving a stick in the bottom of the hive trap to get it level. I came up with something better in the future. I'll show you that in another segment here. I did wrap the top of the hives with aluminum flashing. I figured that'll help it to hold up a little bit better. I think the paint is also going to do a good job of preventing so much weathering on that plywood. Of the research that I did, you don't get a whole lot of years out of these. I'll be happy if I get 5 years out of these swarm traps. The closest thing that I have to a mentor is another buddy of mine. He's about 2-3 years ahead of me in setting up his hives, and he had some extra comb that I was able to use to put on my bars.
I have no idea if this is the right way to do it, but I'm gonna try it.
Basically, I ordered some sterile beeswax, and I'm using that to attach that comb to my top bars. If you know of a better way to attach the comb, please make a comment below and let me know that better way. Putting in that comb is trying to convince the bees that this is a space that prior hives liked and hung out in, and it's kind of like baiting it for them. So part of the research that I did, they said the old timers used to burn the inside of their boxes. I think 3 of these I burned. Come back later and you'll see which of the hives end up attracting the bees. But you're convincing the bees that it's a hollowed out tree, and they'll recognize the smell inside the hive. You're pretty much convincing the bees that it's an old lightning strike on that tree. Take a look at this hanging system that we're using. Is actually a French cleat. It makes it very easy to just slap the attachment bar up there, rest the hive on top of it, and when it's time to remove that hive, close it up at night with the door that I've attached to it. The hive will lift straight off of that French cleat, and I can carry it around and transport it back to load up into my actual hives. I'm placing my traps south facing so that they get that warm sun during the spring here when the sun is low on the horizon. Also about 8 feet off the ground, and the holes for entry are 7/8 of an inch around with nails put into them to prevent predators from getting in. There you can see that cleat in action. Due to the angles between the 2 cut boards there, it just nestles into place and is a very solid hanging point. Here you can see what a big help Finley is. That stick definitely needed chewing on. That's what I use to level the hive up.
Come up a little bit.
Kicks it out away from the tree and still holds on with the French cleat. You're gonna have to click subscribe to see whether or not these actually worked. Come back, check out the video series, and you'll see all the bees. You'll notice I painted them camouflage. I am envisioning this, and I've heard of people seeing these hanging in trees and they go up and steal them. So I've got some money in building the boxes, but if it has a hive in it, that's $200 hanging on that tree. A little bit of camouflage, I'll know where they are. Somebody driving past from the road could see that as $200 bills hanging in that tree and wind up taking it from you.
It looks pretty straight. I'd put something on it just to hold it.
In one of the locations where I plan on putting the hive, about a week ago, I planted a bunch of clover. Yeah, thanks, buddy. Way to help out. But I planted a bunch of clover that I'm hoping will end up, the blossoms will feed the hives. So this video, YouTube says, is perfect for your viewing habits. This is my latest upload, and this is the series for me working with these beehives. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please click like, subscribe, share, and come on back for more.